Matt, still showing up in places it shouldn't. What happened?
So a security research firm, as you mentioned, called UpGuard, found that in an Amazon-hosted cloud computing server, a Mexican firm called Cultura Colectiva had stored just a giant trove of user data from Facebook users, related some of it to an app the company had run, and some of it just seemed to be defunct data, just kind of sitting out there holding things like likes, scraped data about comments, in some cases email and personal identifiable information.
So it's early, Matt. Of course, we know we've just heard recently from Mark Zuckerberg about efforts to increase data management privacy. When we look at how this might have happened, do we assume this is data from before? In other words, from around or before the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and that it's just still out there, that Facebook has a bunch of stuff it can't corral?
I think that's exactly right. I think we're only now getting a sense of exactly how long this is going to be with us. Firms had access to data from Facebook for a while, and it's stored, frankly, in just too many places. Too many data and system administrators have access to things, and in some cases, as this discovery from security researchers showed, they're not properly locking it up. This was inadvertently made essentially public if you knew how to do the right searching on a cloud computing server.
So who's liable here? Is this Facebook's fault or the companies that actually took Facebook's information?
Well, I think Facebook, obviously has taken plenty of heat in the last year for just how much access they gave application developers to their users. But I think the companies that are storing Facebook data and using it for their own sort of marketing purposes, ad campaigns, their own applications, they also have a responsibility here to secure that information and make sure that it doesn't get out or go about deleting stuff once it's no longer relevant to them.
Is there a piece of this, Matt, that falls at Amazon's feet? In other words, should this have been more secure, or is this data less protected than it should be?
Yes, this is kind of an ongoing headache for Amazon. They're the largest cloud computing provider. They offer basically internet access to hard drives and other services for rent. And over the course of sort of the expanding use of those services, some people mistakenly configure their data to make it public. Now, this has happened over and over again in the last several years, and Amazon has taken some steps to get rid of that. Right? They've added warning signs to try to prevent you from making your data public. They've increasingly done more and more on this, and security researchers say their customers should at this point at least be aware that there's the risk you could throw something up online accidentally if you don't take Amazon safeguards and use them.